Welcome to the 5-minute demo of structured stories. We'll first take a look at a structured story, and then we'll log in and enter a new story. Exploring structured stories begins with the story directory, which is a list of the stories that are currently in the story database. And you can find stories either by browsing or using search keywords. You can also look at stories in any of 5 different languages, and if you need information about what you're looking at, you can click the information icon. Let's open up a story. So this is the bullet point view of this story, and there are many other views of the same story. For example, you can view the story as a timeline, or you can view it as a raw structured story, which shows the structured events that make up the story and their components. In any of these views, you can vary the level of detail of the story, or you can dig deeper into specific events and see more details. You can also access supporting documents for each event, for example, source documents. And you can explore a list of the characters in the story, including links to other stories that these characters are involved in. You can also explore a map of the locations of the story, again, including links to other stories that these locations involve. So let's log in and enter a new structured story. So when you log into structured stories, you gain access to additional functionality. There's a watch tool that lets you track new events in stories. There's a tool for reporting stories. We'll look at that in a minute. There's a query tool for making structured queries against the story database, and there's a community forum. There's also an editing tool that lets you add new events to existing stories or edit existing events in stories. So let's add a new structured story. First, we enter a name for our structured story. Then we add structured events to the story. Now, adding a structured event requires five simple steps. You can see those down here. And those steps begin with entering the verb of the event. This loads a list of event templates, and we select an event template. And so the structure of this event is shown here. Next, we fill in the participants of the event, and we do this by searching tens of millions of entries in Google's Knowledge Graph. This is done very quickly. Then we supply a time and location for the event. We'll say this was in 2014. And the location. This is selecting a unique record from the 2 to 3 million geographic records in the GeoNames dataset. Okay, there we have our time and location. Next, we can attach source documents or content to the event, and we'll skip this. And finally, we can attach some descriptive bullet point and summary text and an image to the event. And what we'll do is we'll do this automatically using the existing semantics of the event. And that's it. Now we're going to publish the event. So our event is added here. Now let's add a few more. So I'm going to create these next few events a little more quickly. So now, because we already have a character in the story, we can just select that character. And we can also select the existing entity that's in the that's already in the story. And let's put our time in. I'm going to leave the location very vague for this one in the interest of time. We'll skip this again. We'll add this the bullet point and the summary from the semantics, and we'll publish that event. Now we have 2 events published, and this is the minimum required to publish a structured story, but let's add a few more events here. So in this case, we're going to add a second character in this event. So a party ate lunch with another party, and we'll call the first party Jose Huizar, who is our main character. And we will pretend that he ate lunch with Bill Clinton. And this happened on the day that we're working with. And again, we'll leave the location very coarse in the interest of time. We'll skip the source and related content documents, and we'll add the bullet point and summary automatically. So now we have our third location. So I'm going to add another character here, but I'm going to do this one a little differently. We're going to add, let's see, a character held a formal meeting with a character about a topic. So let's add this one, and we'll say that this character was our main character here, Jose Huizar. But this one, instead of using a character from the Google Knowledge Graph, I'm gonna add the character in a different way. So this is my Facebook ID. It'll go out to the Facebook API and get the information about me, and there's the image. We'll add that character, so that's me as a character in this topic, or in this event, and we will say that the topic of the meeting was, we'll say it was economic inequality. And again, we will use that same date, and we will use that course location. And I could vary the accuracy or the resolution of this date if I wanted to. I just choose to do it to the day right now. And we'll skip the documents, and we will add the bullet point and the summary, and then we will publish that event. Now we have all of our events. Some of these are very important. Some of these are less important. We'll say this one is also important, and we will publish the story. The story has been published, and now if we return to the story directory, we will see our story there. And that story exists just like any other story in structured stories, and that story is fully structured based on what we put into the events. And that is the entry of a structured story. So we're a little over our time. I think we're at about 8 minutes now, but that is a 4-event story, and in case you didn't notice, we entered that entire story without doing any writing. There was no writing of language involved in this at all, and yet we have recorded this very general story. So I hope you enjoyed that quick introduction to structured stories.